I'm going to kick off with a little bit of a video to set the scene.
I don't think that's true.
With all due respect, John, I am head of IT, and I have it on good authority. If you type Google into Google, you can break the internet. So please, no one try it, even for a joke. It's not a laughing matter. You can break the internet.
Okay, just a little something to help set the scene. The first presentation that I'm making today really is about answering the question, is the internet broken? And as you'll see from what I'm going to say to you over the next 50 minutes, we think it is. We think it is. Everything you believe about it is wrong. Yeah, the scare stories that you're hearing about the internet are hype. They aren't actually true. Now that means something, doesn't it? I've got to back that up with some facts and data, so I make no apologies right now. There are a lot of graphs and data in this presentation. Okay, so please bear with me, but you need the facts and data in order to be able to believe the story. Yeah, growth just is not happening at the rate and to the scale that it was predicted even only 3 years ago. Growth is slowing early, in fact it's almost going precipitously down. Yeah, it's slowing early and it's slowing abruptly. More than anything that anyone had thought would happen. We believe that there is a bubble, a real bubble that is yet to burst. And there is evidence that it is coming, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later. So, internet growth is not materialising. Let's deal with each of those assertions one by one. A lot of data you'll see from our dear friends at the Office of National Statistics has been used today. There's a graph of a percentage of the population using the internet for purchasing in Europe. And dark means lots and lighter means less. And guess what? We use the internet a lot in the UK. Germany uses it a lot, and the likes of Sweden and Norway use it a lot. Possibly interestingly, perhaps countries like Italy and Spain use it perhaps a little bit less than you might think, but there you go. We are one of the biggest users of the internet in Europe, and we're the biggest user of the internet for purchasing in the world. And I'll show you some stats on that. 36 million Brits now use the internet every day of their lives, and it's a trend that has been growing relentlessly since 2006.
John, sorry, what do you mean by using the internet? Are we talking Facebook? Are we talking Amazon?
I'll come on to that in just a moment. Yeah, the question is, what for? That's right, we'll look at that. But the frequency of use, is steadily rising. So those people that are on it less than weekly has now dropped to about 1.6 million. Wake up, yeah. Those people that are using it weekly, 4.2. 7.4 million have not used it in the last 3 months. That's probably one of the biggest drops that's occurred over that period of time. People are just using this thing far more frequently than ever before. And that's the exact number, 35.7 million people jumping on it every day for something. Yes. What for? What are they all doing? Whole range of different lines there. You'll see these are all different age groups. 65s in the yellow, the 16 to 24s in that sort of dark blue. And they're doing all sorts of things. Yes, what are they doing? The main thing that they're doing is email. Yeah, I was at a presentation many years ago in the late 90s that said at the time probably the greatest thing the internet will ever do for Earth, as the guy said, it'll be about email. Email is probably the biggest invention that's come out of it all. And I think that was quite a prophecy. But what else are they doing? They're researching products and services, finding out information about products and services. They're reading and downloading news. Yeah, are they on Facebook? You bet the young guys are, or the young guys and girls are. Now that 16 to 25-year-old group is, and interestingly enough, where's the dip? The 65 pluses, not really interested in that stuff. We don't like to be social. I think it's just a matter of catching on, to be honest.
Miserable bunch of us.
Sorry?
Miserable bunch of us.
Yeah, grumpy old men. Grumpy old men. And it's all about information, looking at travel information. Yeah, where am I going to stay? Using things like Route Finder, looking at Google Earth, that sort of thing. Banking. It's an interesting theme we'll come back to later. Banking transactions are big. Health information, looking on wikis, course information, downloadable software, looking at software. Another big area that we'll come back to. Hi, welcome. Come in, come and join us. Hello.
Hi.
Grab a seat. Selling stuff. eBay. 16 million listings a month, I think it is. I'm going to look at that later in another presentation. Huge numbers of people. 7% of the population in the UK use eBay. That's a huge number of people. Making calls, searching for jobs, networking, that's talking to other people. Not using social media, just standard networking. Political reasons, doing online courses, surveys and voting, getting involved in information, that sort of thing. So a whole load of things that are going on. But what about all this purchasing? Where's that gone? Surely everyone's buying stuff. Well, yes, they are. Yes, they are. And it's gradually and relentlessly increasing. The grumpy old men and women at the bottom are lagging behind, but they're still buying more and more over time. And interestingly, it's the 15 to 34, 25, I should say, the 34-year-old range that are leading. But it's a generally upward trend, like you'd expect. This is a prediction of UK retail sales as a proportion of the total retail market in each of these countries. And you can see that proportionately speaking, the UK leads the world. Like I said before, we really love the internet. 13.5% predicted. Against the US 11.6, which I found really very surprising. Surely everyone's buying computers. Yeah? They must be. The pink line is the average. Okay? Well, what are they all buying? Well, right at the top, clothing and sportswear. Interesting. Surely you need to put clothes on and try them out. Remember, there was a huge, and there still is a huge, mail order catalogue. It's very big. It's very big. So people have already made that jump in many ways. And that's a thing we'll be coming back to. Household goods. Films and music. Interesting. Easily transferable over the web. That's a thing we'll be coming back to as well. They're looking, books, magazines, Amazon, the likes, downloadable books, Kindles and so on. Holiday lodgings, travel, tickets for events, food for groceries. That's another interesting area. Of the three major markets, non-food, food and non-store, the stuff that's not sold in shops, food is by far the largest. It's a massive market, it's vast. Electronic goods. We still haven't hit hardware. Where's computers? Down here. Computer hardware. On average, 10% of the population buying computer hardware online. That was that point I made earlier. This is less than the actual fact you'd think it would be, and it's because people still want to use the mail order channel. They still want to use the channel that they know and trust. Even though the internet is probably easier for them to use, it's more current, it's probably more dynamic, more accessible, a better experience overall. No, they still want to use the mail order. So, let's take a look at some of this penetration that's going on. Non-store retailing, 66% of the market for non-store retailing items. This is stuff that's not sold in shops. 66% of that market has been achieved. And what sorts of things are behind that? What is non-store marketing? It's what I've said before. It's things like mail order catalogues, TV shopping. It's also the other shopping you do for things like insurance. Yeah? It's also the other shopping for things, the horrible necessities, TV licenses, all that sort of stuff. It's branded commodities, high-ticket items, washing machines, TVs, stereos, yes, computers, in there for sure. Grocery is a big driver as well, and digital goods. Why? It's easy, it's cheaper, it's more efficient for the business to transfer its mail order business onto the internet and keep it as a mail order. So it will try and shift. It's also a good experience for the consumer. So there's a definite fit If you think about TV shopping, well, I don't really want to watch the TV when the programme's on. I'd rather go onto the QVC website and look at what's there. Yeah? Insurance, I don't really want to talk to one of those bloody call centres, and have somebody try and upsell me this and upsell me that. I'll do it online. Branded commodities. What's the internet good at? Washing machines, price comparison. Boom. Yeah? Branded goods, ace. And that's a major driver for movement of sales online. Grocery is an interesting one. It's a huge, huge market. Heavily defended for right reasons by the Sainsbury's and Asda's and Morrison's and all the rest of these people in the world. The moment one of them moved online, they all had to move online. Yeah? It took Morrison's a long, long time to get involved with being online, and there's some interesting things around this that we'll come back to. And they didn't, in the end, do it themselves. They bought into using Ocado. But does Ocado make money? No, it doesn't. We'll come back to that. Digital goods. It's electronically transferable. If there was ever a way of distributing your goods in a more efficient way, what could there be? Yeah? It's just built for it. There's some other interesting stuff as well when you really start looking at what's going on and why things are going on. This whole death of the high street. How genuine is it? How genuine is it? Now this is about chains, all right? Doesn't include independents. This is about chains. But you'll see service sector, retail closures dropping, where chain branches of retail stores are increasing. The closure of shops on the high street, the closure of retail premises on the high street is overwhelmingly being driven by banks, building societies, post offices. Yeah. Also in there, you've got things like travel agencies. Easy to do online, very easy to do online. And I don't have to go in during working hours and talk to somebody that's going to try and upsell to me. And it's also obviously great for music downloads. So all the HMVs, all the Blockbusters, all the other video and music stores. Yeah? Those are the things that are really behind retail closures on the high street. Forecasts have been grossly overstated as a result of all this, if you think about it. Growth reporting is flawed. All you ever see is the increase in internet sales. What is not presented is the net increase in sales. The facts and figures hide how much is actually cannibalization. I'm a grocery shop. You can either buy it from me from my shop or you can buy it from me online. You're still buying it from me. Yeah? So the internet is not robbing me of my sales, it is just another channel. And yet that figure is being presented as the internet tearing business away from traditional bricks and mortar. Non-store, same thing. It was never being sold in shops anyway. It was all being done through catalogues and on TV. And yet the rise in trade that's being done on the internet for those goods and services is being quoted as part of overall growth. It is not being stripped out. We've also got this issue, home delivery versus click and collect. Home delivery, probably not an unreasonable proxy for internet trade, but there again, when you used to come to my electronics shop and buy a TV, you can now do that online because price comparison. And as part of doing that, I fulfill your order. Where you used to bring it home yourself, I will send it to you. The internet has not taken that trade, it is just a displacement. Click and collect, same thing. It has to be, because where else would I collect it from? Yeah? All these things are not appearing as breakouts from the overall number that's being quoted as growth for the internet. So diversion from shops is far lower than expected. When you look at the real data, it goes back to the old principle. Shopping is a tangible, real experience. Does anyone see the Oak Furniture Land adverts on TV? Yeah, what do? Knock on wood, right? It's all about feeling the quality. You cannot do that online. Now again, it's slightly surprising that clothing is the way it is, but for whatever reason that has just grown up traditionally and always was in the 60s and 70s, a huge market for catalogue sales. But by and large, shopping is a tangible experience. So, on current trajectory, as it actually is, UK internet sales online are targeted to be around 15% of total retail sales by 2020. That is less than half of what some people were predicting only 2-3 years ago. There is hyperbole, there is denial, yeah? And we'll come on to the reasons why that is the case, but it may have something to do with who funds the internet. It may have something to do with advertising and advertisers.